on the road to the Giants. Now, let's switch gears and jump into the playoff simulator real quick, and let's talk about some of the implications these games could have. What we're going to do is just go through and kind of really, really quickly pick these games, who I think will win. And I'm not trying to make a prediction like, hey, guys, put money on it. This is the way it'll fall. This is just very, very briefly. This is how I would see this week playing out. First game we got here is and we'll save the NFC North teams for last, okay? Let's say the Eagles go on the road and they defeat the Washington Commanders. Obviously, the Eagles are sitting at 9-5. The Commanders are currently at 4-10. I think they said it's going to be a soft benching of Jaden Daniels as well. So if Jaden Daniels does not play in this game, obviously that's going to be a big deal, right? So I'm going to go with the Eagles here. Obviously, the Eagles get the win. We'll wait on the Packers-Bears, and that Eagles game is being played on Saturday before the Packers-Bears game. All right, so just keep that in mind. Let's move along. Jets at the Saints. The Jets come in. Let's see how they're ranking here. The Jets are currently 3-11. The Saints are currently 4-10. So this is definitely the toilet bowl this week. So I don't know if either team is going to want to win this game, to be honest with you. It might be one of those like, hey, I got it, you take it type deals. I'd rather get a higher draft pick. We'll see. If I had to pick a team, I'm going to go with the home team and say the Saints win that ball game. Buffalo on the road in Cleveland. I think Buffalo most likely will take care of business there. Then you got the Kansas City Chiefs at Tennessee. Even without Mahomes, you like your chances of Kansas City winning that ball game. Although you never know, man. Again, KC is they've been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. They're currently sitting at 6-8, but boy, those Tennessee Titans are cheeks at 2-10. You know what? Without Mahomes, we're going to go with the home team and say that the Titans actually get the win there. Not that it matters for Packers' sake. All right, Chargers at the Cowboys. Chargers at the Cowboys. The Chargers are currently the 6th seed in the AFC at 10-4. The Cowboys are on the outside looking in at 6-7-1. It is in Jerry World, right? With the Chargers sitting at 10-4, we're going to say the Chargers go into Dallas and get the dub there. We'll hold off on the Vikings. Giants. We'll come back to it. Tampa Bay at Carolina. Is this going to be a sneaky good game, guys? Is this one going to sneak up on us here? Let's look at this, all right? So you've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in the lead in the NFC South at 7-7, but the Carolina Panthers are tied or have the same record at 7-7. The tiebreaker just goes to Tampa. This is the battle for the NFC South. That's wild to think about. You look at head-to-head. You look at head coaches versus head coach. You look at quarterback versus quarterback. It's all just kind of meh, as they sit here right now. I'm going to go with the home team and say Carolina wins that ball game. Cincinnati Bengals on the road in Miami. I think the Bengals will take care of business down there in Miami, as that is an absolute dumpster fire currently. With Tua Tagovailoa, sounds like he's going to be benched for the rest of the year. Next, you get the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Denver Broncos. All right, the Jaguars playing pretty good football. The Broncos are arguably the best team in the National Football League. The Jaguars come in at 10-4 on the road in Denver to take on the 12-2 Denver Broncos. I'm going to say the Broncos win that ball game. Atlanta Falcons at the Arizona Cardinals. The Falcons are currently sitting at 5-9. The Arizona Cardinals at 3-11, although it is on the road in Arizona. I'm going to pick the Falcons in this one. Raiders on the road to Houston. I think Houston takes care of business. Will hold Pittsburgh and Detroit for the end. This is going to be a fun one here. New England Patriots at the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to tell you why this might have a little bit of effect on the Packers. The Packers play the Baltimore Ravens next week, right? And you've got the Patriots going into town to play Baltimore. What if the Patriots win that ball game, right? And they should. I mean, they're 11-3. The Baltimore Ravens have struggled this year. They're sitting at 7-7. If Baltimore lays an egg there and loses to the New England Patriots, do they press in a little more like what Washington's doing with Jaden Daniels? Do they start to sit people knowing, okay, the playoffs are pretty much out of reach? Or do you think they throw the hammer down, throw the pedal to the metal, and try to defeat the Packers next week? That's just going to be an interesting storyline going in. I think the Patriots go into Baltimore and take care of business there. I know they lost to Buffalo last week, but I think they take care of things there. So San Francisco 49ers 10-4 go into Indianapolis to face the Colts. The Colts are currently, they have dropped, haven't they? They're 8-6. They're in third place in the AFC South currently. And you got the San Francisco 49ers, where are they currently at in the NFC West? They're third place in the West, but they're the number 6 seed in the playoffs. As bad as I hate to say it, I'm going to be rooting for the Colts, don't get me wrong, but I think the 49ers probably win that ball game, okay? So If everything unfolds the way we just laid out, let's go through the NFC North teams and let's work our way backwards, okay? Actually, let's just work our way forward. Green Bay at Chicago. Let's talk worst case scenario, okay? Let's say that the Bears win that ball game, okay? The Bears win that ball game against the Packers. The Packers are still the 7 seed. This is before the rest of the NFC North plays, right? Let's say that the Vikings take care of business on the road in New York. Nothing changes with the playoffs. And now Pittsburgh at Detroit. Let's say Detroit wins that ball game. If everything goes wrong for the Green Bay Packers this week, the Packers lose to the Bears, the Lions beat the Steelers, and the Vikings beat the Giants, the Packers are still the number 7 seed as it currently sits. So the moral of the story is what we talked about all week. If you're banged up, if you're worried about these players like Josh Jacobs, Evan Williams, Zach Tom, and they may be wanting to go, hey, we want to go out there and beat the Bears. I got it. I completely understand. But why risk the rest of the run here when, again, this isn't just a gotta-have-it moment? Would you love to lead the North? Absolutely. I think we could beat the Bears without those players. I'm not going to try to paint a doom and gloom scenario because, again, they're without 2 of their top receivers, right? 2 of their top 3 receivers. They're banged up as well. I'm going to trust the coaches to scheme together a great game. If Christian Watson does go out there, which it looks like he's going to, he's fully healthy, I think we could just go out there and beat the Bears again. And if that happens, that's great. But again, worst case scenario, the Packers after this week are still going to be no lower than the number 7 seed. So let's say the Packers win this game, right? Now all of a sudden we go from the 7 seed to the number 2 seed in the NFC, right? Let's say that the Pittsburgh Steelers take care of business with the Lions. The Lions are going to drop even further down. Now they're going to be sitting at, I guess it would be 8-6 or 8-7 would be the projection there, right? So they would drop to 8-7. Their playoff hopes are really dwindling. It may actually end their playoff hopes with that game. And of course, it don't really matter what happens with the Vikings, although if the Giants take care of business there, best case scenario, this is what your playoffs would look like. Number 1 seed Seattle, number 2 seed Green Bay Packers, 3 seed Eagles, 4 seed Carolina Panthers, 5 seed 49ers, 6 seed Rams, 7 seed Chicago Bears. That's what the NFC would look like. Again, that's kind of best case scenario. So let's go back to worst case scenario, okay? Bears win, Lions win, Vikings win. Let's fast forward ahead to week 17 before the rest of the games have been played here. We showed this last week, right? Let's say that the Bears take care of business over the 49ers. This is what's beautiful about this. The 49ers are the 5 seed, the Packers are the 7 seed. If the Bears beat the Niners, it beats the Niners down a touch. That might help us in the final week of the season, right? Now, they're going to be sitting at 11 wins if they do win this week. But again, that's kind of these 2 teams are going to beat each other up a little bit, right? So let's say that the Bears win that game, all right? And let's say that they hold on to the number 2 seed. And then the Packers, let's say the Packers do lose to Baltimore, right? Now you're out of the playoffs before Detroit plays, okay? However, Detroit's playing Minnesota. If Minnesota wins that game, even with 2 losses in a row, the Packers would still be the number 7 seed. So you're kind of up against it starting next week. That's why it's so important to make sure you don't get these guys even more banged up. You get 2 more starters going on IR, going in to the week against the Baltimore Ravens. Now all of a sudden your back's really against the wall and you're even more injured than you were going in, right? However, if the Packers take care of business there, even with worst case scenario, right? Let's say that the Vikings beat the Lions, and let's say the 49ers beat the Bears, you're still going to be holding the number 7 seed. The Bears would still have the advantage over you at the number 2 seed. So really what you're talking about this week when it comes to this matchup against the Bears, how bad do you want the North? Is going after the NFC North, right? Is it worth potentially hampering yourself in the playoffs by marching guys out there that are already hurt and potentially losing them for the playoff run? Is it worth it to risk getting them even more banged up on a short week when they're not 100% healthy just to win the North? And again, there's no guarantees that somebody's out there playing at 85%, right? You would imagine that means that their play is going to dip a little bit too, right? So that's why I'm in the camp of, you know what? If they're not 100%, rest them up, get them ready for Baltimore. We'll have to hear Bears fans all week, but hey, it is what it is, right? Now, if these guys are 100% healthy, obviously you march them out there and you go for the dub. So that's kind of what's on the line here with the Chicago Bears. Hopefully that explains everything. Looking in the chat, how would you guys approach that? I want to know what you guys would do Packers versus Bears. We know that these guys want to play. You know how these players are, man. I guarantee you, if there's a chance Zach Tom could go out there this week, he's going, hell yeah, put me out there. I'll go. Same thing with Evan Williams, right? Same thing with Josh Jacobs. But if you were in charge knowing they're banged up, how would you approach this? Would you sit them? Or would you say, you know what, let's trust them and let them go out there and play? How would you guys approach it? So Ari Ironminer says the NFC North is goal number 1. So there you go. I think Ironminer is saying, you know what? If they're willing to play, even though they're not 100%, put them out there. Okay? I disagree with that, respectfully, of course, Ironminer. That's kind of how I see it, man. I would rather, hey, look, if you're not good to go, if you're not 100%, hold those guys out and let's reset for Baltimore and get everybody healthy and go into this playoffs. Try to create a two games of momentum going into the playoffs. Because here's the other thing about that. Like, well, here's Sober asked a great question. Can they do more damage? Absolutely they can. I mean, you're talking about guys who were banged up. Like, here was the early reports, right? The early reports, and these are the 3 players I'm talking about. Zach Tom, they're saying he could miss 1 to 3 weeks was the rumor, right? He's got a couple of different injuries he's dealing with. Evan Williams, they're saying 1 to 2 weeks. Jason Wilde earlier today said he gets the feeling that Evan will not play. So obviously there's a chance of further aggravating these injuries if they're saying, hey, 1 to 2 weeks is what they need to kind of get right, you know? So with that being said, then you throw in Josh Jacobs again, who rumor is he's been limping around all week, and I'm hearing rumors that he's on a brace. He's wearing a brace. Has anybody else heard that in the chat? Let me know if you guys hear that, have heard that in the chat. Thank you for the audio issue there. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, Andy, for the heads up. It's probably the background music playing. We've been trying to up the production value a little bit, but obviously every time we do, StreamYard screws something up. So yeah, I haven't heard either, Ari Ironminer. You guys, let us know in the comments if you do hear anything on that front, because again, there's a lot on the line this week. Okay, let's see here. I've never seen this name in here. Hey, welcome to the chat. Rev, if I'm saying that right. Heard it was a circulation sleeve. All right, that's different, right? A little bit different than just a brace. Yeah, there you go. Doug said it was a circulation device as well. Never, and Daryl says he's never heard of Jacobs wearing a brace. So that sounds like it got misconstrued, right, in terms of a brace and a sleeve. So maybe he'll go. But again, him limping around kind of worries me a little bit. And, you know, back to the original question there, could it make the injury worse if these guys do play? With Josh Jacobs, absolutely. It's the reason it hasn't fully healed up yet. It keeps swelling up on it, right? Because you keep going out there. He took another hit on that knee this last game. So just something to keep an eye on. So there you go, guys. There's your quick NFC North rundown, Packers playoff chances, the whole 9 yards. Let us know in the comments, how do you feel about the Packers' chances of winning the North, making the playoffs? I think we've got right now, as it sits, an 89% chance of making the playoffs. Now, if you lose this week, that's going to dwindle quite a bit. And then if you lose next week, you'll probably be in the 20 percentile or something, right? So a lot on the line really starting next week. But again, you go out there and take care of business against the Chicago Bears. What I would love to see more than anything as a Packer fan is I would love to see the Green Bay Packers sit some of these guys. Sit Tom, sit Williams. We'll see what happens with Jacobs because he's been playing hurt the whole time anyway, right? Sit some of these guys, get them healthy, and you still go out there somehow, some way, even though you're the underdog, you beat the Chicago Bears in Chicago. Now you're in the lead for the NFC North. You rested your guys up. You're healthier than you've been, minus Micah Parsons, of course. And then we roll out there and create some momentum going into the playoffs. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Let us know what you think about every scenario that we laid out for you. Also, make sure you hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. I'm going to keep my ear to the streets here for the rest of the day. If any news breaks, we'll go live immediately and let you guys know if maybe another player has been downgraded, or maybe, sometimes what you get is some of the insiders leak out a little information from players' camps that this guy's listed as questionable, but I'm told he will go. If we get any of that information, we will definitely fire that out to you guys and gals. We'll go live and have a conversation about it. So anytime we do go live, you guys feel free to jump in here in the chat and talk about it. Appreciate everybody. Huge crowd. Thank y'all for making us a part of your afternoon here on such short notice. We'll be back soon. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. Go Pack Go.
There we go.
We're out.
Bye, guys.